horticulture, fashion and craft.
Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome. My name is Oti. I create content on sewing tutorials and turbancap. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. In today's video, I'll be showing us on how to make Zara cap with a twisting design and a rosette to be attached to the back. It is very easy to make. The materials that I'll be using for today's tutorial are Mako. For those that don't know what Mako is, this is a Mako. It is usually used by cobblers. This is Mako. Then I'll be using this satin fabric, and we'll be also be needing our fiber to fill into the loop that I'll be creating for the twisting. So I'm going to put this aside and cut out my head circumference. My head circumference is 23 inches, but I'll be cutting 24 inches. The reason why I'll be cutting 24 inches is because I usually wear wig. So if I measure my normal head circumference, when I wear wig, if I wear the cap on top of my wig, it will be too tight. So I don't like my cap to be too tight. It usually gives me headache. So I'm going to add 1 inch to it. I'm measuring 24 inches. Then the width of the Mako, that is the wideness, I'm measuring 4 inches. Then I'm going to cut it out. Whatever measurement you use for the Mako, just add extra 1 inch to it. I use 24 inches for the Mako, so I'm going to measure 25 inches on the fabric. By 16 inches. So I'm going to cut it out. This is my fabric. This is the wrong side of the fabric facing up. Then I placed my Mako almost at the middle. Then I will use this fabric on this side to cover the Mako like so. Then I'm going to fold these edges. I'm going to fold it in with about ½ an inch. Then I'll pin it down. After pinning it down, then I'm going to come to this side. You know the fabric is more than the Mako with about 1 inch. So I'll come to the end of the Mako I'm going to pin it down like so. Then I'll move over to the other side. I'm going to pin it down where the marco ends. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew a straight stitch. After that, I'll come to the end of the marco on my left hand side. I'm going to sew a straight stitch. Then I'll come to the end of the marco on my right hand side. I'm going to sew a straight stitch. Let me quickly do that and I'll show us the next step to take. I've sewn it, as you can see. Though I use a matching thread, you might not really see the stitches, but I've sewn it. I sew a straight stitch. I sew on this side and on this side. So the next thing to do, this is the right side. Please make sure this is the right side of the fabric. I'm going to fold it into two. So this is the band part where the marco is. I'm not going to sew it yet. So I'll move over to this side. Immediately after the band, I'm going to sew like so. Then I'll curve it the way we normally cover our turban cap. So I'm going to take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew on this curved line. After that, I'm going to trim the excess fabric. I've sewn it on the curved line. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to trim out the excess fabric. Then with my needle and thread, I'm going to sew loose stitches to form gathers. I'm going to sew it backward one more time to secure it firmly. Then I will secure my stitch. This is how it looks for now. So I'm going to put this aside for now. Then I will take my fabric and cut out 2 long strips to form the twisting. I'll be needing 2 long strips. The measurement that I have is 45 inches by 5 inches. And I have this into 2 places. So the next thing I'm going to do, this is the right side of the fabric. I'm going to fold it into 2 like so. Then I'll take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew a straight stitch. I'm going to repeat same process. I've sewn it, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it inside out. This is the wrong side facing up, so I'm going to turn it to the right. I've turned it inside out, as you can see. Make sure that the seam line is at the middle. So the next thing to do, I'm going to start filling it up with my fiber. I'm going to be cutting it little by little, and I will use it to fill it up to make it full. Do not make it to be too full. Let it be scanty inside it. Don't let it be too full. Let it be scanty inside the loop. As you can see, I'm spreading it out. When you are filling yours, as you can see, I did not fill it up to the edges. I stop about 3 inches before the edge on the 2 sides, and I make sure that the filling is scanty. It is not too tight. I'm going to repeat the same process on the second loop as well. I'm filling the 2 loop with fiber, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take to my sewing machine. I'm going to place it on each other like so. I'm going to sew a straight stitch to sew the 2 together. Then I will twist it. So after sewing the 2 together at the edge, I'm going to start twisting it. It's very easy. I'm going to pin it down at this edge. Remember the band, we left the band unsewn, so I'm going to pin it down. Then I'm going to use glue gun to glue it to the band, round the band like so. I'm going to glue it first of all. After gluing it down, then I'm going to also tack it down as well, but I will first of all glue it. Sure. Then I'll use my hand to press it down. I'm going to trim out this excess. I'll remove the foam. Down. This glue is temporary. I'm still going to secure it down with my needle and thread. I'm going to tack it down in such a way that the thread is not going to show. So the next thing to do, I'm going to gently turn it to the wrong side. Then I'm going to stitch this band. I'm going to stitch it down. You know we left it unsewn, and I've already attached the edges of the loop to it. So I'm going to fold it into 2 like so. Then I'm going to stitch it down. I'll stitch it down, as you can see. So the next thing to do, I'm going to gently turn it to the right side. Our cap is gradually coming to shape. This is the back. I've tucked the edges of the loop inside the band. You can rock it like this. It is beautiful. but I'm going to, you can add any design of your choice at the back. You can also leave it plain like this. It is beautiful. You can add rose flower. I'm going to add rose. I'm going to use a long strip to form rose and attach to the back, but you can rock it this way. It is also beautiful. This is the front and this is the back. So I'm going to put this aside for now. I'm still going to tack it down with needle and thread. Please make sure that anytime you use glue gun, you should also tack it down as well to secure it properly. So with this long strip of mine, I'm going to create a rose design. It is absolutely optional. I have about 60 inches in length by 7 inches wideness. The wideness is 7 inches and the length is about 60 inches. It's even more than 60 inches, but if you have 60 inches, it will still do the job. So the next thing to do, I'm going to fold it into two. This is the wrong side of the fabric. I'm going to fold it into two, like so, right side facing up, right side facing up. Then I'll take to my sewing machine. I'm going to sew a long stitch. This is how the cap looks without any design at the back. I decided to show us how it looks before attaching design to the back. This is the back. Like I said, you can rock it this way. I always like to push it to the side whenever I wear a cap. I decided to show us how it looks before attaching the rose design to the back. So you can rock it this way. Also, if you want your loop to be bigger, you can do it as well. Remember that I used 7 inches for the long strip. You can increase it to 10 inches. Take for example the one I made previously. The loop is bigger. As you can see, this loop is bigger than this. It depends on your preference. You can do it any how you like. This is the back. I attach rose design to this. So it depends on what you want. If you also want this marco, the base, to be smaller, you will reduce it. I use 4 inches for mine. If you don't want it to be as wide as this, you can reduce it. When you are cutting it out, you can cut out 3 inches, but I cut out 4 inches for mine. Then if you want your loop, this is the loop. If you want it to be bigger like this, you will increase the wideness. I use 7 inches for this. You can use 8 inches or 10 inches. You just have to try it to see what you eventually prefer. So I'm going to show us on how to create a rose to attach to the back. And thread, I'm going to sew loose stitches to form rose. I'm going to start from here. I'm going to sew gathers. So I'm going to sew gathers at these edges till I reach the other edge. As I sew, I'm going to pull. As I pull it, as you can see, my rose is forming gradually. So I'm going to continue with this process till I get to the other edge. I'm going to tack it down. I'm going to place it at the back like so. Then I'm going to tack it down. This is the final look, guys. As you can see, it is very easy to make. This is the back view. It is very easy to make. You can decide to put it by the side or in front. Anyhow you like. But I prefer mine to be at the back. This is the back view. We've come to an end of today's tutorial, guys. As you can see, it is very easy to make. If you find my tutorial helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you've not done so, and also click on the notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Until I come your way next, please stay safe and remain blessed. Love you all. Bye.